All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hajime no Ippo, Season 3, Episode 17.
We got introduced to the American Eagle.
Yes, David.
David Eagle.
Yeah.
With his
definitely.
blonde locks and, okay.
Yeah, definitely the complete opposite in a lot of ways from Brian Hawk.
And
this guy looks like a
Takamura.
freaking G.I. Joe character, you know?
Yeah. I'm not going to call him Duke, but... But yeah.
Duke Eagle.
Duke Eagle.
Oh my god.
But,
yeah, he looks like the face of like what they put on like the televisions and stuff.
In the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. Just be like, hey, look at this American boxer.
Right.
Going out there into the world.
Oh boy. But he's rather inspirational and charismatic. Like he wins fans over
He's an athlete.
quickly.
He's a professional athlete.
Right.
And that's the thing that feels very opposite from Takamura, is that Takamura has always been a bit of a joke. Like he is a strong-ass boxer, a legendary fighter, and yet personality-wise, he's lecherous, he's outspoken, he's kind of inconsistent. Like he's all over the place.
Yeah, and definitely oftentimes not really respectful to, the people around him, sometimes even if they are other boxers.
True. So I'm really excited to see how the fans maybe react because he's in enemy territory, which means almost everyone's going to be rooting for Takamura.
Yeah.
Like definitely. But I could see there being a thing of where his whole thing here is to ingratiate himself with everyone there.
Yeah.
So that maybe when it comes down to it in the stands, maybe 20%, 10% of them are actually cheering for him.
Like home field advantage, that is a thing. But I can imagine if I was going to watch a fight and there was the one dude that was from my area and then the one dude who I met and talked to.
Right. That'd be tough.
I'd probably actually end up just voting, cheering for the person that I talked to.
It would be tough because I would be struck with the stardom of oh my god, I'm meeting a world-class boxer.
Yeah.
But then also but it's Takamura. I've seen him in other fights. And
I was there when he said, I'll give you my seed, And that's a memory I will cherish forever.
That is true. That Brian Hawk fight will probably... sit in everyone's minds. But I love the fact that Eagle is specifically coming here not to prove anything to himself. He's trying to find the man that laid low Brian Hawk. And not just in the ring, but in his own mind. Brian Hawk is a shell of the propped up...
golden god that he was.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I almost get this sense of respect that is, professional, from David Eagle, where he's like, oh, I don't like him. I don't care if I like him. But he's an incredible boxer. So, of course, I respect him.
Right.
But, David Eagle seems to be the kind of guy who's like, whoa. In order for someone to beat you, they'd have to be potentially better than me.
Right.
And it's like...
I want to meet him.
I want to fight that person.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is Takamura moving up in his weight class means that he does get to fight this guy.
Right.
So,
and with a bit more of that advantage.
Yeah, and it's also a really sweet way in which, potentially, even tactically, that Takamura was able to get this match because the guy sought him out.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because of who the previous, fighter
I think that is
was
probably the case. Yeah,
definitely.
Because this fight happened quite quickly after Takamura moved up weight classes.
Relatively speaking, and then also the fact that this is a fight where they're getting all these things out of the fight, like the fact that he's coming to Japan. For one, that's huge.
That is crazy.
We've also got Kimura and Aoki's fights to look forward to. I'm really excited to see their fights because while their opponents look like memes, I'll bet you the fights will be anything but, except maybe Aoki's a little bit.
I can't say that I share your sentiment.
Really?
I mean, granted, we had Aoki's, previous fight which was legitimately like moving at points, you know. But these guys, Aoki battery.
What was it? Dachu.
Yeah. Like one of their last names
Papaya
is
Dachu. Dachu. Yeah. Hey.
We'll have to see.
Hey. If Aoki loses, though, he's changing his hairstyle.
He's not doing that.
He's not doing that. Yeah.
What would happen is he would change it to that, and then in his sleep, his girlfriend would
just
take pity on him and shave his head.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's amazing like that.
Yep.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's see Aoki's hairstyle. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. Takamura, if you can convince them that you said, you know, if you don't win, even though in the beginning you said, if you lose, you might get those hairstyles out of them.
You might get those hairstyles. But that being said, they did at least draw with national champions. So that's
from very, very, I would say, meme-worthy fights to stamina inducing, like really hard-fought. You know, they held on.
They did,
because they were each losing pretty badly in the beginning.
Good. That doesn't sound right. Saying,
hey. The crowd might not have liked it, but we did.
Yes.
But we did.
I gotta say, though, I am a little bit surprised that with Aoki battery, well, okay, we did kind of skip past most of that fight, but I thought for sure there was going to be some kind of, like, electricity, like, effect when he punched Aoki, and then it'd be like, this is the power of the... it's like licking a 9-volt battery or something like that. Like, you know, some sort of... I mean, they're already memeing it up this much with the actual hairstyles and everything and how they win. I was legitimately expecting that to happen. But, you know, we got both of them in the same episode. There we go. Miyata. The crowd isn't exactly hyped for you, but you don't care about that.
Nope.
'Cause you're serious.
Yep. Hard-boiled. One of the things that I feel like is just worth mentioning this episode is that this is all a setup to where Takamura, the home field advantage champion, is coming in a new weight class to fight the world champion.
Yep.
He's got literally the underdog, the home field kind of bit. He's got the fact that he's kind of punching up in a lot of ways. There's a lot of aspects about this that make him the one that should be hungry here, and he is. And thus, when we have the little press conference thing in the beginning, where we get this serious bit of Takamura not actually being a courteous or respectful, you know, athlete here, and turning it down, but instead of Eagle getting frustrated about it, he got excited. He's like, I understand you.
Right.
Your fists are too tight to be unclenched right now in a handshake.
He's probably seen this happen several times before.
Like, sure. I would say, if anything, it's a fun way in to have Eagle, who does not know anything about Takamura's personality and stuff like that, have apparently his expectations met and exceeded. Because what he said was, okay, yeah, this is the kind of person he is.
Right, it got him psyched up.
Like, yeah, but he almost said something like, it makes sense. Like it was like sonotori, like I
understand this.
Right, but it was also like my expectations are being met right now in a way that makes me excited. He says that he's exactly how I pictured him.
Right.
Whereas the manager is all like, he's a rude Japanese. And
he's like, I don't think so. Yeah.
And then we see the first time he gets that little bit of almost a creepy vibe where he looks back away from me and goes, now that's what I'm talking about. Like, thinking in his head. That was for him.
Yeah.
Meaning that there's a potential side of David Eagle that we have not seen until he steps in the
Man's
ring.
Wrath. I am very excited to see if that ends up happening, because and again, like, because since Hawk and Takamura, right, that fight was so it was the battle of the two people that are similar, right? And then because they're similar, you can then see in the slight ways that they're different, and then that's the thing that makes Takamura win is the reason why Hawk has to lose, right?
Yep.
He doesn't have the people to help lift him up, right?
Yep.
In the case of Eagle here, it's not like that, right? He's the polar opposite of Takamura, and the thing that made Hawk lose of losing his cool, right? When Takamura ended up getting in his head, right? That doesn't really apply here. I don't think it will, anyways, because
it doesn't apply on his part, Eagle's part.
Yes.
Eagle could totally get inside Takamura's head, though.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
In fact, he might already be doing that by basically being like, oh, he beat him? Then he must have that kind of heel energy.
Cool hand Luke.
Cool. Then I'll just be wax on, wax off, water on a duck.
Yep.
Nothing that you say or do affects me.
Yep.
That's going to make you a little bit frustrated, isn't it?
And there might be a part of that where, you might call that puerile or whatever, or however that word's pronounced, Takamura. But imagine, taken in another perspective, that sounds like a Terminator. That sounds like nothing that you do affects me. And I just keep coming. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 until you drop. So
I like it. I like it. Yeah. The build up for that fight is still present. The entire episode wasn't just the meme matches and stuff. I did like that they were legitimately nervous going into this. And it had nothing to do with the hairstyles in the beginning. It was the idea that they were thinking about facing national champions when none of them have any experience boxing against people from Indonesia or the Philippines.
Right.
And that's exciting because while their looks and get-ups made them laugh and stuff, they're not national champions.
Right.
So in some ways, it's a great honor for them to be brought into a situation where they will get to fight in this stage, and then the stage itself was something that rattled them. The idea of going out into
15,000 people watching.
15,000 people.
Yeah, like that bit with Aoki, I loved that. I loved that so much because how do you even do that? How would you even do that? Where it's like, there's 15,000 people watching you. Now relax, have fun, and get beaten up and beat the other person up, right? Like, that's a lot of pressure right there, especially considering that Aoki and Kimura haven't. Or wait, did I say I called him Aoki originally? It was Kimura that was having the stage fright.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what I meant.
I know what you meant. Yeah.
Just like with the person that was telling them that it was their time for their fights. He just talked to them both at the same time, right? But that was really good stuff because this is an environment that is completely different than anything they've had to deal with before.
Yeah.
So
much
naturally, they aren't ready for it.
Yeah. And we end up getting a much more engaging and entertaining fight, of course, from Aoki.
Yes.
But the level at which they went to show how Papaya was also a meme fighter with a legitimate possum dead strategy of, oh no, somebody call an ambulance, but not for me.
Right. And then the whole the bead or whatever that he pushed into his chin for his official picture.
That is funny.
And then pushed it into his forehead
to just throw him off. And
then it just falls away at the beginning of the match.
Yeah. Aoki never frogged him because of that.
Yeah.
In some ways, he giga-brained so hard that Aoki never used his iconic special move the entire match to land a hit.
Yep.
The entire match. Aoki, who is literally known as Frog Guy, never actually landed a hit with his frog punch.
He managed to get a double punch where both were headshots. We've had people talk about why the double punch is so stupid, right?
You're literally killing your own power within the punch, so you're just throwing one regular punch.
Right. And then it
costs twice the energy to do it.
Yep. And then they just dodge it. And by the way, now you're completely
exposed on both sides.
But so he was able to land that quite well, and yet he didn't get the frog punch in.
Well, the frog punch makes sense. He was psyched out. The double punch also makes sense because he was intentionally possuming at the time to be like,
That's true.
No. Wait, this just has the power of one punch. This isn't actually that.
Isn't that bad.
This isn't that bad. Oh, no. And I love the coconut punches being just this dramatic counter, though.
Oh, yeah. And the noise effects for the coconut punches were great. I am a little bit slightly confused because, yes, coconut punches. At the same time, his name is Papaya. So that seems... I was really hoping there would be some sort of, like, papaya reference in the fight, where it's like, I have the coconut punches, but then I have the papaya...
I think Dachiyu might have something to do with coconut. Because the name of the episode was Papaya Coconut, and the battery guy's name.
Right.
So it might just be that his name is literally like
the word for coconut,
nut or something, basically, or fruit nut, or fruit, or
The sweating, though.
The sweating. Okay,
that was
hilarious. But I wanna bring up something that's hilariously like stupid here. Is that my dad and I, for some reason, with regards to our genetics or what have you, we sweat profusely whenever we're doing any kind of intense athletic kind of stuff and things like that. So one time,
there are definitely people that just
especially in the summer where I actually like need to sweat in general. But it's hilarious because when be doing like outdoor sports and stuff like that, you just take your shirt off and run around in your shorts and stuff.
Right.
But I sweat so much during those things that I ended up developing a reputation of people didn't want to guard too close to me because they'd end up like bumping into me at times. And then their whole like arms, hand, or whatever would slick so quickly off of the coating, and I would straight up use it as a strat to just almost Aoki my way through situations like that, or I'm like
get close to them so they're like
get really close, so I gross them out and stuff, and I'm just like, haha, yes, I am an X-Men, and that's kind of like what I thought of it when I was in my teenage years. I'm like, I have like sweat powers. It's amazing and it's so gross.
But for this guy, who knows? Maybe it was his special anti-clinching technique because he realized that he was beating Aoki. So Aoki was taking a lot of damage. He needed to make sure that Aoki couldn't actually just end up clinching and recovering, right?
Imagine if you could actually, though, just kind of concentrate and sweat. Yeah,
it's like the stories of that dude that can like control his skin temperature and hikes up Everest in his shorts.
There's some weird things that people can do with their body.
Right.
But, like, for some reason, the sweating profusely one, other than the fact that we could see it and hear it, that's the anime part where it's unrealistic. But actually, the amount of sweat to where people are dripping, like...
It does get pretty crazy.
That's not that unrealistic.
Right. The unrealistic part was the fact that his hair was sweating from up at the top, right? But,
And it maintained its due.
Yeah.
The whole way.
I don't know what's holding that hair up, but
oh my God,
it's not natural.
Yeah, when I would sweat like that, it didn't matter what my hair was doing. At the end of it, it was all just, just flat, laid down.
Yep.
But yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Body fluids aside, though, we ended up with quite the climactic conclusions for the two matches.
Oh boy!
And
yes.
they
incredibly
were
climactic.
Hilarious in their execution, and having Kimura's be something where it ends with him actually like beating the crap out of the guy in the very last second to get a tie. That feels very much like maybe the judges were a little bit favorable towards him because I believe the point system is based on rounds, not entirely just punches.
I don't know.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. Yeah.
But if it's punches based, that means he laid into him extremely hard in that last round. So I have to give props to the Alecki guy for staying up all that time.
Yeah, because if he has a glaring weakness like that, that is the kind of thing where, if anything, it's a bit surprising that a champion would still have a glaring weakness, you know?
It's probably a weakness of his body, something that he can't control.
Sure, like he still tries and does the whole thing of taking the weighted ball and hitting his stomach with it, but
he had an injury at some point, you know, in his career earlier, and it's just that's my weakness now.
Bodies are very different, right?
Very different.
Like there can just be the random thing where it's like, nope, for some reason your body don't like that, and
I've met people who just can't jump.
Really? Yeah. Well, okay, I can't jump.
No. Like, you know how when you jump, you have to plant and you 2 feet it? There's some people that just don't know how to time their feet. Like,
oh.
I met someone who he just kept doing this.
Gotcha.
Anyway, random thing, but yeah, bodies are different. It's crazy.
And hairstyles are different.
It's true.
Thankfully, okay.
We'll see.
Well, unthankfully, we're not going to get to see Aoki and Kimura with those hairstyles.
Unless, because we looked back and checked, there's a possibility that Takamura is able to convince them that he said, if you don't win, even though in the beginning he said,
if you lose.
So and Takamura, you have to do some serious like gaslighting here.
but we did get Aoki's imagination of him in that hairstyle, and I do appreciate that.
I'm very thankful.
Now we just need him in that hairstyle also crucified, like in his one imagination bit. That would be incredible.
That would be too much for me. I would just check out and be like, no, too much. But y'all, like,
plenty of really in-depth analytical discussion for this episode. You know.
But thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Yes, we stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any that interests you, we'll see it there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.